Over the years teaching, I've noticed that amateurs don't use the tee box as they should. Most of the time you'll see them do exactly what I have done here. The ball teed up directly in the center of the tee box, trying to aim down the center of the fairway. One of my mentors showed me this neat idea about splitting the tee box and the fairway into 3 separate lanes, like a 3-lane highway. So let me go ahead and put together these lanes, and I'll explain exactly what I mean. So we know that most golfers have a tendency to slice the ball, so the ball moves from right to left. And if they were to stand in the center lane, number 2, and aim down lane number 2, usually what would happen is the ball would start here, start straight down here, number 2, and curve to number 3, and usually wind up either in far right number 3 or even in the rough or in the bunker. So I think depending on what your normal shot shape is, you can line up in the different lanes. So let's just take an average golfer, because about 85 to 90% of golfers slice the ball, or right-handed golfers move the ball from left to right. So if that's the thing, what you would do, instead of teeing up in the middle lane, tee up on the far right lane, number 3, over here, and aim down into lane number 1, so that as the ball curves, if you know your tendency is to curve the ball from left to right, the ball will start out towards lane number 1, and as it comes back, it'll curve into number 2, maybe far right number 2, and barely into number 3. So in other words, you have a lot more room to work with and a lot more fairway to play with if you start from the right side of the tee box and aim to the left, allow your curvature. And the opposite would be for someone who draws the ball. You would start in lane number 1 and aim down either number 3 or number 2, and allow your ball to start in those lanes and allow it to curve back to the center. Because instead of having just 1 to barely 1.5 lanes to usually work with here, if you start at number 2 and go to the center number 2 and only have from here to here. Now if you were to start as someone who slices the ball in lane number 3, you have the starting part all the way from number 1 over. So look how much more room you have to work with here. That means you're going to be in play a lot more of the time, and definitely have a better chance at hitting the green from the center of the fairway than you do in the trees over here. So definitely try to use the tee box a little bit better the next time you're out there. Think about the way you curve the ball naturally. If it's right to left, or excuse me, if it's left to right, tee up a little bit more on the right side. You could even tee off, in the middle of lane number 1 and 2 over here. But tee off more towards the right side and aim down the left side, so you have a little bit more room to work with. And the opposite goes for someone who draws the ball. A right-handed player who draws the ball goes from right to left. You can start over here between 1 and 2, or in lane 1, aim down, into the far right of number 2 and number 3, and allow the ball to curve back in. One of my mentors, Bobby Cole, once told me, he said that the best thing you can do is aim conservatively and swing aggressively. Don't aim aggressively and swing conservatively. So hope this helps. Try it out the next time you're on the golf course and let me know how it goes.